The Road Warrior Wizards arriving at the arena. That look tells us they are ready to get down to the task at hand. And the game arrivals sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. A spectacular sight as we approach our broadcast location in downtown Orlando through the air. It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. Hi everyone, this is Kevin Harlan, and joining us tonight, Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. And reporting from the sidelines, our very own David Aldridge. And here's a look at some numbers for Gordon.
And guys, how about the surge of offense he's experiencing right now? These last 5 games, he's been a machine at the offensive end. A different scorer than he had been earlier in the season. We'll find out if he can keep it going here tonight.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, for Bradley Beal, it all started with his shot. His mom was a great athlete in her own right, and she coached him. By age 7, he was making high school range threes. He said, "I just run from arc to arc. I loved it because you knew you had to guard me all the way out there. Everywhere I went, it was shooter, shooter. My name became shooter. Kevin, it still is."
It sure is. Thanks, David. Both these teams, Doris, relying tonight on the execution in their half-court game.
A little bit of a throwback, sort of an old-fashioned approach tonight. Don't worry, we're going to have plenty of highlights. It is the NBA. We know there are great players on both sides of the ball, Kev, but how about this ability to execute under duress of a 24-second shot clock? It's going to be really interesting to watch.
And now Washington's starting group. They've got Bradley Beal, Wagner out there with Thomas Bryant. And it's Wall, and it's Napier in at the point. And for Orlando, Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. And it's Isaac in at the 3 spot. Ross with a wide open look. His 3-pointers off the mark. Now here's Napier. He's covered closely. Orlando grabs the miss. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
Live by the 3, die by the 3. If you're perimeter dependent, you don't really know game to game how it's going to go.
Well, Greg, I think when you shoot as poorly as they did from deep in that basketball game, it's not going to go your way very often. The 3 ball, too critical in today's NBA.
It's stolen by Fultz. Inside. And then Gordon with the dunk.
Well, Markelle Fultz continues to develop his floor awareness. Passes like that will create all kinds of chemistry.
About 1 minute into the first quarter. Napier passes to Wagner. He kicks to Bryant. Pass to Beal. 6 on the shot clock. Second chance effort, and it's sent back by Isaac.
Isaac using every bit of that 6'10" frame to send it back.
Ross passes to Gordon. There's the dish to Vucevic. Over Bryant, and it's Vucevic. That time on the assist by Gordon. Vucevic has got his second basket of the night. Wizards have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Beal deciding where to go with it, and so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. And here in January, a few teams starting to solidify their spots in the power rankings. Others not so much. You look at the Bucks. They're stuck in the same spot, still outside the top 3.
And right now for the Magic, they're sort of cemented in this spot right now. Playing decent basketball, but not quite well enough to make up any ground and get into that next tier.
Well, conversions have been a problem. 0 for 4.
And another miss by Washington. Down low, here's Gordon, and he floats in for the easy 2. Credit the assist on that one.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Ross against Wall. Washington needs to get a shot off here. Here's Wagner. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
Good on the shot.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Now here's Wall. He had 19 points in the win against Boston.
You know, couple that with the 4 big blocks. He was awesome on the defensive end as well.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
Well, for Washington, D.C. basketball, they have one title to their name, the champs back in '78.
What a run that was for that team, led by the great Wes Unseld. But boy, in the 40 years since that title, my goodness, fans of this franchise have waited so patiently for that return to greatness. When will it come?
Bryant passes to Wagner. He dishes it to Beal. And there's the pass to Wagner. Can't hit that one. Great D that time from Vucevic. Orlando moving the ball around. And it's Gordon finishing it off.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
And give them credit, Greg, for approaching this game with the right energy and intensity. This team has attacked every chance they've gotten.
Wall passes to Beal. Shoots over Isaac, and that one is good from Bradley Beal.
I like the commitment from Bradley Beal to take it inside and attack the defender.
Now here's Fultz. Napier covering. Passes it to Ross. To the right side. Clock at 6. Isaac passes to Ross. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Wall against Ross. And Wall. Here we go now. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
Yeah, I like him forcing the issue inside. Wall playing with purpose right now.
Here's Fultz. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Brooklyn.
And his passing was simply amazing. A lot of fun to watch.
And it's Vucevic missing.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Here's Beal. Rebounded by Vucevic.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Fultz, no good. And here's Napier. He'll bring it up for the Washington Wizards, trailing by 10. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, and that one, their rebounding was the difference. Big disparity between the two teams.
That was a coach's dream, to get that kind of effort and intensity on the glass, and for it to pay those kinds of dividends, critical.
And so it's Washington with it after Markelle Fultz made that last three-pointer. Bryant dishes to Beal. Shoots over Isaac, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Vucevic.
When he first came into the NBA, many thought Bradley Beal would be a mostly catch-and-shoot shooting guard. But this guy is proven he can definitely shoot, but there's so much more to his game. He can create for others. He can get himself off on the bounce. He is a terrific all-around guy now.
2 shots.
And that one falls for Beal. And with Beal, Doris, he's been more aggressive at attacking the rim.
And Kevin, it's worked out for him because he's gotten to the line more, and that allows you to become a consistent scoring presence. Boy, the dynamic nature of Beal's offensive game has really elevated.
About this time of the year, we hear early talk about end-of-the-season awards. When you're thinking about who you'd vote for MVP or whatever, Doris, when do you start giving consideration to those topics?
You know what's fascinating, Kevin, is where all the major awards are considered, particularly the MVP, it feels like there's a narrative that develops back when the season starts. The key as a voter, I think, is to sort of eliminate the noise, look at the numbers, consider the success of teams, and make your decision from there. You've got to make sure you're really doing your research.
And sometimes, am I right, it comes down to the final couple days of the regular season before a voter like yourself knows for sure.
Kev, I have cast my MVP ballot on the last possible day in each of the last 3 years.
Wow. Here's Fultz following the basket by John Wall. There's the steal. Oh, and here comes Wall all alone. Good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. Wall's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Wizards. Fultz kicks to Ross. Pass to Fultz. Fires from deep. Rebound by the Wizards.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
To the inside, Vucevic scored the basket. His fourth. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Pass to Wagner. Ross against Wall. Just 5 to shoot. Wagner passes to Wall. Leaner from distance. Orlando grabs the miss. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Fultz kicks to Isaac. Vucevic up top, defended by Bryant. Ross on the wing for 3. The shot, no good. Wall with some nice D. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. And Wall slams it home.
This seems to be the new breed of point guards who can play above the rim. Wall finishing with style.
Now here's Fultz. Napier covering. Left side, Gordon. Kicks to Ross. That's tipped. They get it back. Wizards trail by 9. Outside, Wall. Napier passes to Wagner. Right side, Bryant. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And you look at this Magic roster, so much potential.
I think, Greg, they have done a great job of drafting to the style of play they want to play. Guys who want to get after it on the defensive end. Guys who can switch and slide on the perimeter. Guys who can protect the rim. That is the backbone of this organization.
Shoot 2.
And that one falls for Bryant.
And the Magic, one of those franchises that's still looking for its first title.
And Greg, they've been to the NBA Finals twice, but boy, did they run up against 2 of the all-time great individual closers in history. 1995, Hakeem Olajuwon says no to the Magic. 2009, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant says, no, sir, I'm getting another championship. Well, a new era begins for the Washington Wizards, right? A change in the front office. The team has tried for years to rebuild in a number of different approaches. Perhaps a fresh outlook for fans under new guidance gives this team new hope.
Nice little run here to shrink that deficit, but can they get over the hump?
Yeah, it feels like they've ramped up their intensity. They have forced good things to happen. Now they're back in it.
The feed to Fournier. Vucevic the pass to Bamba. Over Bertans. Offensive rebound. Outside Fournier. Good on the 3-point shot.
Well, you love the shooter's mentality that Evan Fournier possesses, thinking of pulling up before he even makes the catch.
And so it's Washington with it. 8-point game. And for the Wizards and their new front office doors, a tough task ahead of them.
I think so, Kevin, because first and foremost, they need to change the culture of the team, right? Too long, there had been a lack of accountability in D.C., and I think once they address that, the rest of the rebuild could come easier.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over.
And with their offense sputtering, coaches got to get them back on track.
And to me, they're just taking too many tough shots. And when they do get an easy one, the confidence just isn't there.
Mahimi's checked in for Bryant. There's the pass to Bertens. Fires the three. That one doesn't drop. And Orlando the other way now. Augustine looking around. And it's Vucevic in the corner. And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. Let's check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. Taking a look at Orlando. Right now they've compiled the 6th best record in the conference. And checking out Washington, 3.5 back.
And you know, for the Wizards, they've had such a disappointing season. Even when they've gotten a little bit of momentum, they haven't been able to keep it going.
It just feels like they're sputtering right now. Every time you think they've turned the corner, they really haven't.
Well, a great rebounding small forward can give any team an X factor. Let's look at a few guys who have been playing that role over the course of the last month. Well, you look at Hachimura, 3rd in rebounding, and what a physical presence inside.
You know, the work they do on the boards is such a big part of all these players' games. I mean, they play much bigger than the grand majority of small forwards in our league.
Yeah, this is a very physical group of players, and all with a great nose for the ball. They don't shy away from getting down low and pounding the boards with the big guys. In fact, they just thrive on it.
Doris, you've said this often, it is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different eras, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential time. And there are certain names that are always going to pop to the top of the list, LeBron James. But it's very difficult to me, say, to compare a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest to ever man the center position, had the impossible to check sky hook. But how do you compare him with LeBron James, who, though he is, and I don't know what position he is, he may be the greatest passer in the history of the league. Like, let's enjoy individual greatness without comparison.
Bamba's shot is off.
And they've come out with a take no prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
Magic leading by 4. Now Augustine, he's still scoreless so far in this one. Aminu, the pass to Birch. Out left to the wing. Shot clock at 5. Tries again. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Really, the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
That free throw, no good.
Absolutely stone cold at the line thus far.
And the second free throw, good. 1:27 left in the first quarter of the game. Smith, the pass to Mahimi. Dishes at the wall. Over in the corner, Bertens. Offline with his 3.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
And Augustine kicks to Birch. Here's Bamba, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Smith scanning the floor. Here's Hachimura. He had 16 points in the win against Boston.
And you know, guys, the other thing I really appreciated about his effort in that game was the effort and work on the glass. What a well-rounded performance.
Out to Smith. Passes to Wall. Here's Hachimura. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game. And it's Smith missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
And the dunk by Bamba.
Well, Mo Bamba, no doubt.
15 seconds left here in the first quarter. All with it. 10 points for him. From deep. No good on the last second attempt there. Nikola Vucevic firing on all cylinders for Orlando. He made his mark in a big way on the boards in that quarter. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. One of the most dangerous scorers in the game, Bradley Beal spoke about the trust Coach Scott Brooks has in him and his teammates.
I think the biggest thing is he's still young, so he tries to think he's still hip. He keeps up with us a little bit, but he grants us a lot of freedom. He allows us freedom on both ends of the floor to be leaders.
Ellen Beal trying to grow as a leader and a star. Has to love that.
Yeah, and Brooks known for developing good relationships with his players. He pushes them, but he gives them a lot of praise as well.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And from what we've seen from Orlando, what do you guys see?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
Taking a look at the Wizards. In at forward, it's Hachimura and Bertans. All out there with Ish Smith. And it's Mahimi in at the center, filling out the middle. First free throw is good. You hear these defensive coaches in our meetings, Doris, talk about their players staying on a string, helping the help defenders in this league are important.
No doubt, and there are certain guys who are gifted defensively. Paul George, to me, was a Defensive Player of the Year category. Rudy Gobert, multi-time winner of the Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy is considered a great shot blocker, and no question that's the case. But it's because his defensive rotation is so good. Guys like Marcus Smart, the ones willing to give up their body, fly around the floor, be great anticipators. I mean, that impacts winning.
Aren't they fun to watch?
So fun.
Here's Birch. Over Bertans. The shot by Birch, no good. Wizards trail by 5. Out to the right wing. Wall looking for an opening. Here's Hachimura. Birch grabs the board.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Pass to Bamba. Over Mahimi. Nice shot there by Bamba. Bamba's got his second bucket of the night.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Wall against Fournier. And Wall kicks to Bertans. Pass to Hachimura. 6 to shoot. And it's blocked. And here is Bamba. He's coming off a 13-point game against Brooklyn. Fournier's shot is off.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Plenty of daylight on that shot. Smith's got his first 3 points of the game.
And the instincts there from Hachimura. Notice the overcommitment by the defense and then makes the right pass.
Now here is Augustine. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Here's Birch. Bertans defending. Here's Fournier. Rebound by the Wizards. Last time they met was in Washington.
Well, if they want to avoid the outcome of that first meeting, they'll need to be stronger on the glass. They were completely outmatched in the last one.
Well, you have to believe the coaching staff made that a point of emphasis. Better aggressiveness, better intensity on the backboards.
And we got a chance now to check out multiple seasons of assist numbers and what has been the trend for Wall.
And the trend that he's going through with his assist numbers dropping over the past few years isn't a good one. I don't want to say he's become a more selfish player because that's too harsh, but he's become a little too concerned about finding his own shot rather than creating for his teammates. He may want to rethink that.
First one falls for the Wizards. Bell is checked in for Mahinmi, and Bradley Beal subbed in for John Wall. He's off on the second. Well, it's a new front office in Washington, and Greg, they've got their work cut out for him.
John Wall's huge Supermax contract as he deals with the Achilles injury. Tough questions to be answered about the direction they're going to take talent-wise.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son, Philip, was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball. I think he will." Kevin?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report. And he makes the first.
And now a chance to see the former Demon Deacon Ish Smith in action. Has been in the league for a while now and played for several teams, and he's a veteran through and through.
Smith hits them both. And when you have Ish Smith on your team, you know he's going to give you scoring off the bench.
And Smith not exactly great at any one thing, but the whole package is solid for a reserve. As long as you can make the right decision and just run the offense, that'll get you pretty far in this league.
Boy, he hasn't found the range yet here in the second period. Only one triple for him tonight.
And that's a foul called on Davis Bertans. That'll be his second foul of the game. Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Orlando. Markelle Fultz comes in for DJ Augustine. Magic leading by 3. Now Fultz. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. The Magic again can't hit.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's going to buy himself a ticket to the bench. If he keeps shooting it like that, he has been putrid here this quarter.
Orlando's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Here's Smith. He has 5. The pass to Hachimura. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Hachimura's got 8.
You have to push Hachimura out of there if you're the defense. He's a real problem on the interior.
Fultz looking around. Passes it to Fournier. Gordon inside. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Now in his 6th season in the NBA, hard to believe Aaron Gordon is still just 24 years of age.
Not much older than some rookies coming in. You wonder what his ceiling will be.
That free throw missing.
And one of the more transcendent athletes in the game. Aaron Gordon still has some untapped potential. He could make a big leap.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Vucevic checked in for Bamba. Jonathan Isaac comes in for Cam Birch. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for Fournier. And Greg, we've seen Gordon playing in a slower paced system. He was asked to play at the small forward.
Not ideal, Kevin. He's better off as a small ball power forward, getting out in the lane and using those springs to rise over. Oh, that was worth the price of admission.
Well, I'll tell you this, he is a relentless scorer at this point, Aaron Gordon. He is not afraid of taking contact.
The Magic shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one. The free throw drops for Gordon. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the basement.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
Wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. And the foul called on Terrence Ross. That is his first foul of the game. Wizards trail by 6. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Beal with it, and it's Gordon picking him up. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And even though he came into the league at the age of 19 out of the University of Florida, Beal has been a scorer since the get-go.
Well, Bradley Beal entered the league as a sweet shooting 2-guard. He has worked his way into being a tremendous playmaker. Year over year, his overall offensive game has gotten so much better.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
We have seen Bradley Beal take on more of a leadership role lately. This guy wants to prove he can put a team on those big-time shoulders of his.
And both free throws good for Beal.
And guys, this is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line. Perfect this quarter.
To the middle. It's intercepted. Here's Hachimura. And that one good. Hachimura's got 6 in the quarter.
And showing some toughness on that take. Hachimura, these kinds of buckets can energize a team.
Outside Gordon. To the paint. Here's Isaac. Hachimura grabs the miss.
Pretty early to be over the limit. That foul situation is something we want to keep an eye on.
And out of Japan, a real interesting prospect. Hachimura, especially now that he can stretch the floor.
Yeah, he found the 3-ball in his last year of college, hit over 40%. You combine that with the size, the motor.
Shooting 2.
He is really versatile, and I feel like he's putting it all together.
And the first one at the line is good.
And although he started playing the game later in life, Hachimura has picked it up well, and exciting young player to watch.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Orlando leading. Ross with it. 14 points from him the last game against Brooklyn. Well, we like to keep you up to date on the fresh talent in the league, so let's check in on the rookie block leaders. Well, you look at Hachimura, one of the top intimidators in the league, a fierce shot blocker.
And that ability to send shots away at the rim, so highly valued, it takes guts to put yourself in harm's way and contest those finishers.
The first one falls.
Well, I think the things that Aaron Gordon has added to his game, specifically that reliable three-point shot, is a really welcome sign. This guy has an incredible upside.
And Gordon drops them both.
He does a great job of drawing contact and getting himself to the line, something he didn't do in the first period.
Now, here's Napier. Tight defense on him. Great D that time from Vucevic.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Gordon finds Vucevic. Back to Gordon. Inside. Vucevic to the pass to Ross. Makes it off the glass. Ross has got 6 points.
Well, you can see why his teammates love playing with him. Vucevic willing to find the open guy.
So it's Washington now, trailing by 5. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. It's blocked out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. Ryan is checked in for the Wizards. For 3, Ross knocks down the 3 ball. Ross has got 5 points in the quarter.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Wizards trail by 8. Here's Napier. The shot's good. And here's Fultz. Pass to Isaac. And here's Gordon. He kicks it to Fultz. Launches a 3. They get the rebound. Here's Vucevic. Swiped away. Beal gets a wide open look. And it's off from 3-point range.
What a brutal night for this guy, and it is having a ripple effect throughout the team. This is tough.
Gordon, the pass to Isaac. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Boy, don't you love to see Aaron Gordon make these kinds of decisions. This guy is fully capable of recognizing open teammates.
Now, here's Napier. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. Basket counts. 13 points in the game.
Boy, that's beautiful touch on the floater. And let's remember, not everyone has that shot in their arsenal.
And it's Fultz with the ball for the Magic. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Pass to Gordon. Now Isaac, defended by Bell. Clock at 6. Isaac misses. Wizards trail by 6. Here's Napier. Orlando grabs the miss. Gordon's got 6 rebounds in the game. Now Fultz. And the pass to Isaac. Back to Fultz. 3-pointer. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Fultz has got 6 points.
Mr. Fultz more than happy to fire away from range. Pretty shot, Markelle.
Washington has gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Passes it to Beal. Bell trying to break loose. Beal can't get it to go. Orlando leading by 9. Here's Fultz. There it is, his third basket. He's taken 7 shots to get those 3.
Well, this has to contribute to Markelle Fultz's confidence, showing right there he can get through the defense.
The Wizards shooting at a 32% clip from the field. They're just not executing. Outside, Beal. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
Well, this guy cannot get started, and the offense overall has been a struggle because of it.
Here's Isaac. Bryant with the rebound. Bryant's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Wizards trail by 11. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Pass to Beal. Outside Bryant. Shot clock at 6. Here's Bell. That shot off the mark. Gordon with the defensive effort. Orlando's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. They swipe it. And here we go. The Wizards fast break. Here's Napier. Here's Bryant. That shot is off. So Orlando will take it the other way.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And so it looks like the Magic will retain possession here. So for the Magic, Aminu comes in for Isaac, and DJ Augustine subbed in for Markelle Fultz. And then for Washington, Mahimi's checked in for Bell. And it's John Wall in for Hachimura. Gordon, the pass to Aminu. Over Beal. The putback. It's good on the putback. Great game for him. Double-double now. 10 points and 10 rebounds.
How about those instincts from the 7-footer? Vucevic uses that size to snag offensive rebounds.
Wall wide open. And that time, also a missed shot.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Wizards trail by 13. Beal from long range. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Augustine dishes to Gordon. It's stolen by Bryant. And here's the fast break. Beal leading the way. 16 feet away. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Beal's got 4 points in the quarter. Here's Augustine. Pass to Vucevic. Over Mahimi. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in.
Now, Kevin, this is what you're paying Jan Mahimi to do, right? Contest shots, perhaps intimidate a little bit on the defensive end.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Magic lead by 11. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. Aaron, you all have played at a high level so far. What has worked for you?
We're just sticking to the game plan. You know, our coaches really drew up something good for us. You know, they wrote it out, and we're sticking to it, and we're executing very well.
Yeah, that's obvious the way you all have played. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. The first half was all about Aaron Gordon. He had 13 points, 3 assists, and 10 rebounds. He struggled in their last game, but he's not having any problems tonight. Really good first half for him. He was right on the mark. Shaq, what'd you think about the Magic?
Well, the big question with Aaron Gordon has been the shooting. He's better now, stretched the floor a little bit. But what you really like, athleticism, especially at the rim.
Kenny, what's your take on Washington so far?
Their inaccuracy from behind the arc was brutal. Shot selection, I didn't see any. The perimeter offense they're running, you could scrap that. They need to get back to the basics. Pound it inside, more pick and roll. Try to pick up some easy buckets in transition.
And And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. A fantastic game from Aaron Gordon in this one.
Well, it didn't take him long to get that double-double. Already has it halfway through the game.
That takes a level of aggression and a level of focus, and he has brought it all night thus far.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. And it's Isaac in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's out there for Orlando. The basket good off the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got 4 assists now tonight.
Wow, how about the focus from the big man, Jonathan Isaac, comfortable in the paint.
So it's Washington now. It's a 13-point game.
Well, obviously a rough start to the career of #1 pick Markelle Fultz. The shoulder injury sort of takes away his shooting ability when the Sixers trade him away. You're rooting for this young man to get back to his game.
5 on the clock. Here's Napier. Rebound by the Magic. Gordon's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Isaac kicks to Fultz. Fires high post, and he overshot that one, missing. And some have said, Doris, for Fultz, not just physical issues dogging him early on.
Well, I think you have to consider, Kevin, when you are the #1 overall pick, extraordinary pressure comes with that. So now with a new team, perhaps that fresh start gives Markelle Fultz an opportunity to showcase his big-time talent.
And so Napier will bring it up for the Wizards. Down by 15. Now the pass to Beal. Pulls up on the elbow. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Beal's got 10.
How effortless is the mid-range game of Bradley Beal? Pretty.
Fultz with the ball. He's got 10. Fires from the wing, and that's good for 2. And that's now 11 points for Terrence Ross.
When the mid-range is working for Terrence Ross, he's going to create problems. It's just a matter of can he do it consistently, Kev.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Count the basket. 12 points for John Wall.
Well, you like how aggressive he is, making a play at the rim against length.
You have got to believe that you can score against size on the interior. How about the aggressive, assertive move there?
Pass to Gordon. And Vucevic kicks to Isaac. No good on the 3.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Napier passes to Bryant. Outside, Beal. And he makes that one. He's got 12.
Boy, that is just tremendous concentration from Bradley Beal. Defense all over him, no problem.
Now here's Fultz. Napier covering. Ross passes to Gordon. Back to Ross. 6 on the shot clock. Outside Gordon. Trying to find Vucevic. Gets it to him.
Vucevic knows who he is. This guy is a close scorer, a legit threat to finish it with authority.
Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Outside Beal. Ross with the steal. Gordon with no one around. Hits it from 3-point range. Gordon's got 16.
Boy, how about the tenacity of Aaron Gordon? So good at being assertive and taking over the offense when necessary.
Pass to Beal. Shoots over Isaac. Bryant. Nice persistence to tip it back up and in.
Oh, hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip in. And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. For the Magic, Mohamed Bamba, he's checked in for Vucevic. Kem Birch comes in for Gordon. And Evan Fournier subbed in for Ross. Then for the Wizards, Bertanis comes in for Thomas Bryant. And it's Ish Smith in for Shabazz Napier. Fultz the pass to Bamba. Six to shoot. Here's Fultz. And that one hits back iron. Wizards trail by 14. Here's Smith. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. He's got 7.
The defense making it way too easy for him on that jump shot. He'll take that all night.
And here's Fultz. He's got 10. Here's Birch. Back to Fournier. Here's Isaac. They get it back.
And for him to shoot from that distance is a bit of a head scratcher.
I think as a player, you have to know your strengths and play to them, and that is not within his range.
Here's Fournier. And 2 free throws coming up as the whistle blows. He barely missed that one.
Well, Evan Fournier proving adept right in that instance of making the defense bite and put him at the free throw line.
The Magic have gone 5 of 9 at the line.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Fournier.
I think what we're seeing from Evan Fournier is this guy is a terrific young player who's willing to do a little bit of everything.
And so Fournier nails both of them. Now here is Smith. He has 7. Pass to Wagner. Rebound by the Magic.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And there's the pass to Isaac. Beal with the steal. Here's Smith. Good. It's Beal picking up the assist. And it's 9 points for Smith.
Well, Bradley Beal increasingly becoming a dangerous playmaker. What a pretty pass.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That is his first foul of the game. And the Wizards making a change here. Hachimura is checked in. Passes to Fultz. Pass to Birch. And Wagner pulls it down.
You will have to finish harder than that if you want to convert in traffic.
And it's sent back by Isaac. Fournier passes to Fultz. To the middle. Birch's shot's good.
Well, this guy knows it's his role to get his guys going. Fultz doing a nice job moving the ball.
To the inside. Bertanis. And finished off by Berton.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope. His only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. Pass to Birch. Here's Fournier. The pass to Isaac. Back to Fournier. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep. Excellent defense there from Smith.
He is single-handedly dropping the temperature in here with that cold streak.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point.
And the scary thing is,
Hachimura is going to keep getting better. Games like this prove how special he can be.
Now Fultz, 10 points for him. Here's Bamba over Wagner. Nice shot there by Bamba. Bamba's got his third basket of the night.
Well, Mo Bamba, if he gets that kind of position, turn the lights out.
And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Washington Wizards. A 12-point game. Down low, here's Hachimura. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Oh, forget about going for the long-range bomb to cut into that lead. Just take it to the hoop, my friend.
And how? Brilliant throwdown. Now a timeout called by Orlando. Orlando making some changes. Al-Farouq Aminu, he's checked in for Jonathan Isaac. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Fultz. Mahimi's checked in for the Wizards. Bell comes in for Hachimura. Augustine passes to Fournier. Here's Birch, covered by Wall. Clock at 6. Birch kicks to Fournier, over Wall. The shot's good from Fournier. Fournier's got 7 points.
Evan Fournier, the rise and fire despite the contest. That's nice.
Here's Wall. Looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And John Wall, of course, having to fight back from that torn Achilles, but also is now having to play up to that super max contract he signed.
Birch, the pass to Bamba. Back to Birch. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Birch has got his 2nd bucket tonight.
That's the idea. You work the ball into that area. It's a sweet spot.
Wizards trail by 12. And with Wall, no doubt he's a star guard. But with that contract, Greg, comes heavy expectations.
No doubt. And I'd like to see Wall become more proactive, really as a playmaker on offense in the near future. Depending on how he feels after the injuries, he might need to change his style just a bit.
7-footers typically challenged as far as mobility. But, Doris, you look at Mo Bamba. He appears to be very fluid.
Well, he's listed at 7 feet. He's actually 7'1" in shoes. And despite that height, Kevin, as you mentioned, Mo Bamba is a very fluid athlete. He's got exceptional feet, tremendous upside for Bamba.
Well, you talk about physical gifts for the game. Mo Bamba, a 7-footer with the longest wingspan, 7'9.5", and that gives him a huge sphere of influence.
Augustine with it, still looking for his 1st bucket in this one. Outside Fournier. Back to Augustine. Washington with the rebound. Greg, you look at Bamba able to touch the rim while still on the ground. And he gets off the ground pretty well, too.
A good athlete, still getting stronger and developing his feel for the game. But he has something you just can't teach. Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Wizards trail by 12. Outside, Wall. Passes it to Bertens. And here's Mahimi. Back to Smith. Over Augustine. Rebound by the Magic. Bamba's got his 5th rebound in this one.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead. Nice pass there to set that basket up.
The Wizards shooting an outstanding 55% from the field since the half. You know, their execution has been on point. Pass to Augustine. It's stolen by Wall. The shot from 20 feet away. And Bell kicks to Bertans. Birch grabs the board. Birch has got 7 rebounds in the game. To the paint. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. Well, we've got a moment now to see this year's three-point contest and how it's shaping up. Let's take a look at some of the top candidates emerging as we see here some players who are likely to make the final cut.
Not too shabby of shooters on this list, Kevin. You got to love the advancement and really the evolution of the three-point shot in today's game.
You take a look at Beal, and at number 4 on the list, he's almost certain to take part in the contest this year. He's going to be excited to let those long-range shots fly in All-Star Weekend.
And the fans have been right to give him so much love. He's deadly from beyond, and he has to be in this contest this season.
And we'll keep you posted as we find out more and as we get closer to the three-point contest once we have our final list of official contestants.
Yeah, it's going to be very competitive. That's the one thing we all know. We got an incredible group of long-distance shooters in this league right now.
That free throw good from Aminu. Vucevic, he's checked in for the Magic. Aaron Gordon comes in for Cam Birch. The Wizards also changing it up. Ryan, he's checked in for Mahinmi. Bradley Beal comes in for Bertans. And it's Napier in for John Wall. Two free throws for Aminu.
Boy, he's got a great stroke from the line. That's not something we can say about all the league's big guys.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Beal drives in, and it's blocked by Gordon.
How about the timing of Aaron Gordon? This guy has got the ability to rise up and send it back.
There's 18 seconds left to play here in the third. Looking to get it going.
What you lack maybe in mobility, you've got to make up for it with anticipation. Nikola Vucevic, nice job.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. It's the Magic as they end the third quarter on a 14-6 run. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
Boy, GA, how about the secondary playmaking you are getting? Great to have that from the shooting guard spot.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Fourth quarter on the court for the Wizards. They've got Napier. Bryant is out there with Bell. Then there's Bradley Beal. And it's Smith in at the shooting guard position. Beal against Aminu. Shot clock at 6. Ross passes to Vucevic. Over Bryant. And it's Orlando with another.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Here's Smith. Of course, you and I were just talking about something Commissioner Silver said the other day about a proposed mid-season tournament. What do you think?
Well, I certainly think if they do move to a mid-season tournament, it's going to have real value for it to matter. To get the fans engaged, something has to be on the line. So, number one, you're going to have 2 goals. Instead of 1 championship, maybe you want to win that mid-season tournament too.
Napier dishes to Beal. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play.
I don't know if he's tired or what, but he is definitely holding back a little bit, and he has to step his game up right now.
Ross finds Vucevic from 18 feet away. A second chance effort, and the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Well, I love watching Vucevic get after it on the glass. The tenacity it takes, impressive. And 2019, Nikola Vucevic becomes a first-time All-Star. No doubt his best season, and what a timely one to have it in a contract year.
Fultz, he's checked in for Orlando.
Mind the lane. Mind the lane. One shot.
And Vucevic, no good on that one. And a big new contract for Vucevic, rewarding his breakthrough season. Doris, in your mind, how has he improved?
Well, you can look specifically at his scoring and his shooting percentages, both going up dramatically. He showed comfort inside and outside the arc. This guy has become a go-to offensive weapon. Vucevic, a first-time All-Star last year. Can he continue to build on it?
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
Second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
Here's Carter Williams. Outside Gordon. Pass to Vucevic. Vucevic gets double teamed. Shot by Ennis. Nobody around. Second chance shot. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
This guy's so polished inside. Nikola Vucevic, great at being assertive and earning these fouls.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw drops for Vucevic. 7 feet, 260 pounds. Vucevic has a big, strong body with great footwork inside, Doris, but he doesn't shoot a lot of free throws.
He doesn't, Kevin, and he can struggle at times to finish through contact. If he were a better leaper, I think he'd get to the line more. This guy is just so smart and elusive with his footwork. So this is a big-time player now, make no mistake.
Both shots good from the stripe. Doris, in basketball, like many sports, you can call some kind of penalty on almost every play. So with that in mind, where do we draw that line?
I would say that most coaches and most players would say as long as there's consistency with officiating, they can adapt to the way the game is being called. As fans, as broadcasters, what we want to see the game remain free-flowing, fluid, pretty, the ability to move and cut and not be impeded in your progress. That's what I want to see.
And we see that most nights.
No doubt.
And it's put back in by Vucevic.
This guy is cooking right now. He is leading them on the offensive end as they remain in front here.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
The kick out to Brown. Trying to end the drought. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
There's the pass to Vucevic. Here's Gordon. It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
And with their hot shooting here in the second half, their field goal percentage over 50% now for the game.
And they'll keep possession. Here's a 1-2. And no good. Some solid defense from Brown. Here's Bonga. Vucevic defending. Brown, good.
Well, the defense wants to keep the ball out of that area. Why? Because if it gets in there, most players are going to finish.
Now here's Carter Williams. Passes it to Vucevic. Gordon with it. Defended by Bell. Fades back. Goes back up. And Vucevic finishes inside. Vucevic has got 22 points.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
High arcing shot. The shot comes out, and Orlando will come the other way. Next up, they'll face the Suns. That'll be in Phoenix. That's the first of 6 played on the road. Here's Carter Williams. Hachimura grabs the miss.
And I'm not sure that is a shot that he should be taking.
Well, it's hard to imagine that the play was designed to go in that direction. Boy, I'd be surprised if we see that again.
And right there, you see the decision-making ability of Hachimura. Sets his man up perfectly.
To the wing right side. Here's a 1-2. And a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. A 1-2's got 5 points now this quarter.
He's just stretching him out. The defense has got to do a better job of staying attached to him.
Well, you know this, Greg. This is a guy who's looking for his shot the whole time. You have to know who you're guarding. KYP, know your personnel.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
Here's Birch, and that one goes long.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
Outside, Robinson, pass to Brown. Another shot. Rebounded by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 18th rebound here tonight, all over the place. Carter Williams against Robinson. Pass to Birch to the inside. Oh, and a fast break for the Wizards. Robinson's got the ball. Rebounded by Vucevic. And so it's Carter Williams. He'll bring up the ball for Orlando. Here's a 1-2. Shoot from the right block. No good. From the Wizards, they're shooting in this fourth quarter pretty dire at 27%. And that one's good. Hachimura. Hachimura's got 21 in the game.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
The pass to a 1-2. Now here's Ennis. Pass to Birch. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
Mahimi kicks to Brown. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. First free throw is good. And Brown drops them both. Orlando's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Carter Williams feeling it out a bit. Pass to Birch. Tries it from 19. Rebounded by the Wizards. Outside Robinson. Pass to Bonga. Here's Hachimura. Clock at 6. Oh, that's blocked. They recover it. He blocks it again. And at last, they get one to fall.
Boy, this guy has been terrific. The rest of the team, however, struggling.
Now here's Carter Williams. Defense is right there. Awundu kicks it to Bamba. Lots of room. They get it back. Awundu, that's good. Awundu's got 7 points here in this quarter.
This guy is putting his fingerprints all over the game in this quarter. He has flat out dominated the offensive end.
Here's Hachimura. Brown outside. And the Wizards hit again from deep.
Well, this quarter has been all about this guy. He is trying to close the gap in the score.
Orlando with the ball. Now Carter Williams inside. It's stolen by Mahimi. And now it's Brown running. He can go all the way. And then Brown with the dunk.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
And passing with a purpose there. I love how Carter Williams keeps his teammates involved.
Doris, all right, this is going to come out of the blue here, but if you had to choose between raising the height of the basket or widening the floor or even widening the lane, which would it be?
I have very strong feelings on this, Kevin, and for me it would be widening the floor. And the reason I say that is it feels to me in the last couple of years there are more sideline violations where teams are turning it over because they're trying to get to that corner three, one of the most advantageous, best shots in today's game. But because that three-point line is so close to the sideline out of bounds, we're seeing too many violations. So if I had to choose between one or the other, I would absolutely widen the floor.
Brown. Outside for Robinson. Here's the three. The shot that time, not on target. And Orlando the other way now.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Magic.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought. An all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that. And man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
Wow, they finished the season series undefeated. 4 games, 4 wins, really asserting their dominance.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Vucevic.
Boy, this guy played with some swagger and intensity on the boards tonight, dominating the physical aspect of the game.
1:07 left to play here in the fourth. Outside Robinson. To the middle. Here's Bunga. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Well, this is what they needed earlier on. At some point, it's too little, too late.
Yeah, but then again, this run came against a team that may have felt it had already won, and you get the sense it let its guard down.
And it's Carter Williams with the ball for the Magic. They have a 19-point lead. The pass to Birch. Bamba with it. Over Mahinmi. The Magic again can't hit. On offense, here are the Wizards. They're on a 20-7 run. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And you can see what makes Hachimura a tough cover. He can beat you with finesse, and also he can bring the hard hat.
And he makes the first. And so he hits both. 35 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Carter Williams with it. Passes to Bamba. Back to Carter Williams. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, the defender all over him.
He misses the free throw. No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also. Pass to Bunga. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Sometimes a player is born with a passer's mindset. He deals it with conviction.
And here is Carter Williams. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge of being here and play with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Nick, great win tonight. Good performance by you. How surprising is it that you contributed to the game in so many ways?
I mean, I wouldn't say it surprised me. I always knew I could play at this level, but I just play hard. Just play hard and get things happen. I don't try to force anything. I just let the game come to me, and I play hard. Rebounds. Like I said, it's a lot about effort. That's what I can do every night. And points are gonna come some nights. Sometimes they won't. But I just take what I get and just keep playing.
Well, you did it all over the floor tonight, Nick. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.